Let us understand and solve these two questions that have been shown. So here in both the problems, there is not one single rigid support. There are two rigid supports. So the upper rigid support and the lower rigid support. These are the two rigid supports as shown. So let us take the distance between the two rigid supports to be d. So d happens to be the distance between the two rigid supports. As we can see that this particular part of the single string present over here is not going to vary. The length of this part is constant, fixed, and that length is effectively equal to d. This part of the string is going to vary and change as the masses move. So this part of the length of the string we are assuming as x1. So this part also becomes x1. So I am labeling this as mass m1. We are going to take acceleration due to gravity in the downward direction. Of course it is, and we are going to take the acceleration of mass m1 also in the downward direction, that is a1. Now this length is nothing but x2. So this length is x2, this mass is m2, and the acceleration of the mass m2 is a2 in the downward direction. So this is how we set up and label the lengths in this particular question. So basically this is x1 and x1. So now as far as the length of the string is concerned, we can understand that this constant part d plus 2 times x1 plus x2, this is going to give us the length of the string L. On double differentiating, we get 2 times a1 plus a2 is equal to 0. So this is our first equation. This equation is our first equation. Next, we can write down the equation for m1. So on the mass m1, 2 times tension acts in the upward direction. So for the mass m1, I can write down m1g minus 2t is equal to m1a1. So this is the equation for mass m1. For the mass m2, we can write m2g minus t is equal to m2a2. So this is the equation for the mass m2. On the mass m2, only one single tension acts, as can be seen from the diagram. Here 2 times t is acting, and here only one single t is acting. So these three equations will give us the correct solution for this particular problem. So let us take here the distance from the mass m1 to be x1 and the distance from the mass m2 to be x2. In such a question, we need to analyze how many moving parts are there. So here we can see that there are 3 moving pulleys, 1, 2 and 3. These 3 are the moving pulleys over here. So we need to take the distances from the center of each of the moving pulley to any of the rigid supports up or down. This is, let's say, xp1, this let's say is xp2, and this let's say is xp3. So this is xp1, this happens to be xp2, and this happens to be xp3. So we can understand that this particular part of the string is nothing but xp1. Also xp1 is rigidly connected to the mass m1, so xp1 varies as x1 varies. So we could just replace xp1 with x1 in our calculations. So this you can say varies as x1. This part of the length of the string also varies as x1. Obviously we are ignoring this pi r part, this fixed distance d, and so on and so forth. So this is x1, this also varies as x1. This part of the length of the string varies as xp2. So let me write that down over here. So xp1 varies as x1 varies. So this is xp2. So if I write down the length of the first string to be constant, I get 2 times x1 plus xp2 is equal to length of string 1, which is L1. So I'm saying L1 is the length of string 1, let's say. So this is the first equation that we get. Now for the length of the second string, let's say we are talking about the length of this particular string. Now for that we need to assume that the distance between the two fixed rigid supports, this is the main learning over here, that the distance between the two fixed rigid support is constant and is equal to d whenever there are such two fixed rigid supports. So basically here we can clearly see that this part of the length of the string is nothing but d minus this much length, which is xp2. So this is d minus xp2 and this one happens to be xp3 minus xp2. So here we are basically going to get down the second equation as d minus xp2 plus xp3 minus xp2. So this is going to be the length of the string 2. And now for the third equation happens to be this length of the string. So this part is now again going to be d minus xp3. This part is going to be d minus xp3. And this part is going to be x2 minus xp3. So we can write that down now. So this is d minus xp3 plus x2 minus xp3. So this is going to be the length of the string 3. On double differentiating each of this equation we get, so from this we are going to get 2 times a1 plus ap2 is equal to 0. From this second equation we are going to get minus 2 times ap2 plus ap3 equal to 0. And from this third equation we are going to get minus 2 times ap3 plus a2 equal to 0. Now here we have got one ap3 and here we have got 2 times ap3. So if we multiply this equation with 2 and add the two equations, we can eliminate ap3. So on doing that we get minus 4 times ap2 plus a2 is equal to 0. But from this equation ap2 happens to be equal to, or rather minus ap2 happens to be equal to 2 times a1. So minus 4 times ap2 happens to be equal to 8 times a1 plus a2 equal to 0. So this is the main constraint motion relation equation that we need, which is usually the relation between the accelerations of the two masses on which the forces will be acting. So here this happens to be the mass m1, this happens to be the mass m2. Both accelerations will be assumed in the downward direction. So this acceleration is a1 over here and this acceleration is a2 over here. Let me assume the tension of the string to be t, then the tension of the string will be 2t, and the tension of the string will be 4t, okay, and the tension of this string will be 8t. So on the mass m1, if we do the force analysis or dynamical analysis of mass m1, we can write down m1g minus 8t is equal to m1 a1. Both accelerations are assumed away from the rigid support going in the downward direction. So this is the second equation for the mass m1 that we need to be writing down, noting down and solving later in order to get accelerations and the tension. And the third equation is m2g minus t is equal to m2 a2. This is the third equation. So these are the three equations, and the three unknowns happen to be t, a1 and a2. These are the three unknowns for which we are going to solve. Okay, here also the unknowns happen to be Ta1 and A2 only. Ta1, A2. These are the three unknowns for which we need to solve.